Welcome back to another figure review. In this review, we're going to take a look at Joytoy's Armed Forces U.S. Army Cavalry set. This is a 5-figure set. This is a brown box that it comes in. On the top it has a Joytoy logo and a little sticker with the letter D in the middle. Other than that, it's just a simple brown box. Inside this box is 6 little boxes. Each little box has your figures. The black boxes have the 5 figures, and the blue box, purplish blue box, has like some accessories. Each one of the figures are just labeled by A, B, C, D, or E. Figures have no identity, they're just troops. This is the little first box A figure. The front of the box shows the front of the figure. There's the side of the box. Product detail. Back of the box shows the back of the figure. Side of the box shows all 5 team members. And it says Armed Forces. Top and bottom, just the logos. On the side of the box contains these plastic cases. All your figures and accessories are located inside. The top of this is a display stand with 1 peg. And these all have different designs per figure. You cannot use these as a display case. These are the older type cases. You really can't do much with them. Each figure comes with an insert. This is figure A. Now on the front it has product information and has the same picture on all 5 of them. But on the back it shows you the figure that's currently in the display tube. Some product parameters. Okay, let's take a look at the figure. This is your figure A. Very nice head sculpt with a helmet, mouthpiece, and a beard. Tactical vest with a knife, a removable knife. The blade is removable and has a black blade. Each arm has U.S. flags. Has a belt. Some thigh pads. This side has a pad and a pouch, and this side has a gun holster for your pistol. Some knee pads. There's the side of the figure. Back of the figure. Some pouches. Radio. And a little piece that you can put weapons on. Like a little tab. Other side of the figure. The knife pulls right out there. Articulation wise, his head does a 360. On a ball joint, and the neck's on a ball joint. Those do pop out sometimes, but they're probably back in, no problem. Ball joint shoulders, go through 360 around, bendable elbows. This hand goes up and down. And this hand goes in and out. And obviously they spin also all the way around. There is articulation in the chest and in the waist. I can't show you the articulation in the chest because of the vest, but there is a waist. And they don't sit the greatest, but you can get somewhat of a sitting position. I'm not going to force it. The legs spin right here. Double jointed knees. And the foot tilts down and goes 360 around. If I can stay in focus. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at his accessories. By the way, the articulation for all the figures are the same, so I'm only go through it once. This is his rifle. Comes with this axe. The backside is actually pretty sharp. So be careful. And all the figures came with the same pistol, so I only showed that once. Okay, so you take your pistol, stick it in this holster. Pressure, be careful, it may fall off. If it does, just screw it back on. Here he is with his rifle. You can shoulder that rifle pretty good. On the back of these, there's this little tab that you can utilize for his axe. I kind of think that these tabs should have been up and down instead of side to side here, because there's really no way to stick that axe without it sticking onto the saw like that. Kind of looks weird. But if it was the other way, it'd be right on the back, on his back like that. Or you could take a hair dryer, heat that up. The glue will loosen up and it'll fall off, and you can turn it and reglue it back on if you want to do that. I may do that. Who knows? Okay, that's your figure A. Now let's take a look at figure B. There's a box for figure B. The front of it shows the front of the figure. Armed Forces on top, U.S. Army. It doesn't say Cavalry on it, but this is labeled as a Cavalry set. Side of the box. Back of the box shows the back of the figure. Armed Forces. Top. Bottom. Here's a figure's display tube. This figure stand. It's like a broken concrete. One peg. Here's figure B's insert. And here's figure B. All the figures have the same vest, same thigh pads, just different head sculpts on, well, there's actually only 3 head sculpts in this set. You'll see why in a minute. So here's the front of the figure, some nice images of him close up. Side of the figure, back of the figure, side of the figure, like I said, here's this pistol. It's the same pistol for all the figures. This one's actually a little tighter than the first figure A. There we go. Here's his rifle. And he also comes with the same axe as figure A. Here he is with his rifle. Each of them have the fingers that go into the trigger guard. You gotta be careful with the thumbs and his pointing finger or trigger finger. They don't break off or get smashed when you're trying to put the weapon in his hand. Axe on his back. Okay, let's take a look at the next figure. This is figure C. So figure C, D, and E are basically the same figure. I believe the only difference in them is the rifle. So this is the front of the box for figure C. Side, the back, the other side, top and bottom. Here is the figure's tube and his stand. Figure C's insert. The back. Okay, here is figure C. He has a helmet, goggles, and a face covering. So figure C, D, and E is exactly the same figure that's being shown. They all have the same knives. They're all black, bladed. They are removable. I should note that when you first open up your figures, the thigh pads and the vest are not on the figure. You have to heat those up and put those on yourself. This is the back of the figure, side of the figure, other side of the figure, and there's the head sculpt. Very nice. Here's figure C's rifle. This is pistol, same pistol, and same axe. Here's the figure all geared up, holding his rifle. Pistol in his holster. Axe on his back. And that's your figure C. Now let's take a look at figure D. Okay, here's a box for figure D. Side, back, the other side, top, and bottom. Here's the figure's tube and stand. I should also say this peg. I've tried Star Wars figures, G.I. Joes, Vitruvian hacks. It seems to be like a proprietary size for Joytoy only. So you really can't use these for anything else at this point. Okay, here's figure D. Exactly as figure E and C. Here's his rifle. So this was figure C rifle comparison. The only difference is their rifles. Okay, and it also comes with the same axe, same pistol. Here he is all geared up. The articulation on these arms and their wrists makes for some very dramatic poses. I mean, I don't remember having a G.I. Joe figure that can hold his weapon like that. And holding his axe. That is your figure D. Now let's take a look at the last figure. So here's your figure E box. Front of the box. The side, the back, the other side, and top and bottom. Here's the figure's display stand and tube. Here's the figure's insert. Now figure E is your sniper. Okay, here's your figure E. Here is figure Z's sniper rifle. So it has a bipod. This bipod is not attached when it comes new in the box. This bipod is very difficult to insert into the peg. Be very careful. Goes up, down, and back. And of course he has the same pistol and the same axe. Here he is, all geared up, holding his sniper rifle. I'm getting pretty close to looking straight down the scope. I'm sure I can get a little better if you play with it a little more. Oh no, very nice. Back of the figure. They also stand very well. See, no effort at all. There's no balancing issues with these figures. And here's a shot of all three of those figures together. So these are three of your, faceless troopers. And here's a shot of all five of them together. So you can get to choose who's your squad leader. For me, I think I'm going to go with the guy with the beard and the hat. He kind of looks like a leader. Look very nice together. So this is box number 6 front of the box, side of the box, back of the box, side of the box, top and bottom. So inside this box is another display tube. With another stand. Sometimes this can be a multiple of one of the 5 you have with the figure. But I think it's a random thing. Inside here you have a little baggie full of accessories and replacement joints. So I went ahead and dumped those out. See if we can separate them, take a better look at them. We're right back. So you get extra hands or spare hands with different poses or hand signals. Seven of them, 7 extra hands. One is pointing, couple gripping, an open hand. Here are your replacement joints. Remember to heat your figures if you buy these before you use them, or in your accessories, your thigh pads and vest, so nothing breaks. These are your knee joints, shoulder, ankle, elbow. So for the additional weapons, you get this large machine gun. Not sure if you want to classify it as a saw, but just call it a large machine gun. And you get 2. I believe these are breaching shotguns. I'm not sure. You get 2 of those. You get a laptop. Unassembled. You just put it together. There's no screen, no sticker, no decals, paint. It's kind of a bummer. I wish there was something. Just have to assemble it. Just putting it in there. And it folds up and down. And then you get a folding spade. You can also put this spade on one of the figure's backs, or to replace the axe if you like. And finally, get a rocket launcher. The front of this flips up, and you have this little projectile missile that can go inside here. Now, there is some friction there. It's pretty. You can hear that. If you can hear that or not. I don't recommend sticking that all the way in there, because I'm not sure how you would get that out of there if it got stuck. Because it doesn't just really drop down in. Oh, I guess it just did. I'd be very careful with that. Okay, on a side note, I wanted to show you this. This is a different figure. It does not come in this set. But if you wanted to have a 6-man team instead of a 5-man team, you could also pick this up. Now, I'm not going to review this in this video. It will be a separate video for this figure. But as you can tell, his camo matches right up with the other 5 figures. And you get 2 different head options. Just as a note. Take a look at the other video when I post it, and you'll be able to tell. Well, if you like this review, please subscribe and help us out. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next review.